All right, someone by the name of Twisted Doctor is a viewer. One of my streamers made us a pretty interesting suggestion. When we come with a tier list to rate all the Area 2 and 3 cards of all the Masterminds. So I thought it was a good idea. I don't really want to do this, but he suggested it. I'll do it. Sounds interesting, but I don't know. I don't really, like talking a lot, but whatever. Good idea, and it actually gave me another idea that I'll probably do. I'll rank all the passives here for all the masterminds, and I'll go to the ratings. Here I'll just C tier, B tier, A tier, S tier. So I'll do these. These it sounds interesting. Thanks for the idea, and hope I do it justice. I better do it before that one guy does it, because he'll just be really lame and rate everything like C tier that isn't like Nikolai or something. So I'll do it before he does it. Okay, so we'll start with Area 2. I'll just try to be brief with this. I don't want to go too in details. There's a lot I can talk about. Okay, triple dogs. Yeah, it works great. I mean, Epsilon strain. If you're running like full attack power, triple dogs can take you out in like 1 or 2 hits, maybe if they're tracked. Maybe like a Martin or a Becca. Great at spreading infection. Problem is they only work on like certain maps, like that are wide open and have like long hallways, like casino and like amusement and uptown, maybe, I guess, like area 2. That's about it. But they can be tricky to place down sometimes because they may not fit into the area you want to put them in, and then they can be easily taken out. Like prison. You don't want to run dogs on like prison or something. So they're very map specific. That's their only downside, but they're really good, really knowing to deal with. So for that, I give them a B. Not an A tier because they're very map specific and build specific, but very annoying though. They could be really dangerous. Berserker zombie, I give it B because I don't know. I mean, it shares its buffing effects, but I mean, like, how do you if you're doing like defense in it, like, how do you pass that up? So, but they're good for like saving you money on like. See, I think maybe we haven't really thought of like the potential for this, because it shares its buffing effects. It doesn't just share its regen or its berserk. If it's fully buffed, and it moves around, everything's buffed with it. So it can save you money on spending on vapors. So something to look into, I guess. Um, so I don't know. I think we've really realized its potential, but that's not because it's overshadowed by this. It's a zero cost zombie. So I don't know. It has potential. So I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a B just to be safe, I guess. Maybe very situational. That's kind of the risk. It's a risk. It's not C tier definitely, but I give it like a B plus tier, I guess. So a lot of potential there. C tier, healing vapor. It's a lot of fun. I came up. I'm probably the only one who's ever like came up with a build for this. It's, I use it to like heal Yorick through EIS. I call it Doctor in that. You heal. There's a build you can do where you can heal your creatures when you control them, and you want to keep Yorick alive as possible. But when your camera's under attack, you want to use this. It's very situational. I don't know. It's kind of a tragedy. I'm sure there's some really cool things you can do with it. But I don't know. Maybe it's like this. Maybe we have unlocked its potential. So there's potential here, but I don't know. People have the time or the patience for it, so I'm just gonna give it C tier, I guess. It's a shame though. Ambush, I give it an A. It's a zero cost zombie. How can you pass it up? Fully buffed, tons of HP in area 2 and area 3. Works in pretty much any in that build except maybe like Epsilon Strain. So it's hard to pass that up. So A tier it is. Okay, I'll do like area 3 cards separately. So I'll just go through all the Masterminds area 2. Dealer regen, nothing amazing, just B tier. It's good on Daniel. It's a controllable creature. I don't know, B tier it is, I guess. Same with the Berserker, running like a high damage build. You'd want to run like maybe health on this one, so that they stay alive when they're clawing. But damage for this one, so very build specific, so just B tier, I guess. Overclock, I give it A. It gives you back at bioenergy, but it pauses it. Problem with overclock I've seen is you can kind of get lost in just shuffling for overclocks and spamming it and not really fighting the survivors, and then before you know it, the survivors have moved on. So you can kind of get caught up in the action of spamming these. So that's the only downside to it. But it's good for like spammy builds, and if used right, it's good in I guess you use it for like a Gun Daniel build. So yeah, yeah, E tier, I guess. Nothing S tier about it at all. But yeah, it's probably the best Area 2 card he has. Synchronize, I don't know. I gave it C tier, but very build specific. I came up with like a Nia spam Nia build for it to work. That's or remote shells. It work good if you can spam remote shells. So that can be really scary to put up with. But Daniel's really hard to play enough as it is, and that's why he's the weakest. I don't know if that's why he's the weakest, but I think even before the Kashima, he was the weakest. Still, he's like an Area 1 guy. He's an Area 1 build. He's an Area 1 Mastermind. If you don't give him an Area 1 as Daniel, if you don't get a lot of time off, Daniel's not going to make it. Not going to do it for you. Big Musement's probably your only hope. So yeah, Daniel, it's a shame. Daniel's a lot of fun to play. But again, this is very skill specific, very high risk, I guess you could say. That's Daniel. He's high risk, high reward. You can do a lot of damage with Daniel, but you can also get destroyed with him. So yeah, Daniel's very high risk, high reward. Still, I think the most fun to play as. Okay, is that it? Right. Yep. Okay. Alex. Give this C tier. I don't know. Can't really pass up triple landmines for this. So it's good. Good in like a default. Alex has the best default skills in my opinion out of all the masterminds. So I don't know. You can't really pass up the other cards. So I say C tier. S tier. Triple landmines. You could take out entire teams with them. If you clone it and running hot like damage, they get their tracked. You can take out entire teams and survivors with it, especially at the exit too. Even at Biocores. C tier, I don't know. It's Camouflage Detonator, Alex. I don't know. What's the point? Maybe there's some potential there, but I don't know. I don't know why they put these in. I wish Camo was like a buff on its own. That'd be pretty cool. Contagion, S tier. This is what makes Spam Alex work. Without it, Spam Alex does not work. I've tried it. You need this. This is how you get the time off the survivors. You can get up to, if you clone it and they're all infected, that's 40 seconds off right there, and then you get their health low, and a detonator blows up, and somebody gets bit. You can take out entire teams. This is how you snowball them. S tier. Okay, so we got Spencer. What did I give this? I gave it C tier. This I always thought of like a infinite like EIS cooldown build, but that's very map specific, like Area 3 Bemusement, or if you get them at doors with like deadbolts or something. But it takes a lot of maybe discipline to get that to work. A lot of hard work, I guess. Nobody wants to do that. Why? When you can just play terminal, I guess. So it's just C tier, I guess. Recharge got nerfed anyway, so clogs up your hand. It's just another mod in your hand. Rider Cycler, I give this an A. It really only works on like maybe one build, terminal. But I'm sure there's other builds. I came up with some stupid builds for this to work, but terminal is what makes it work. Before it got nerfed, this would easily be S+. Because back in the day, you could... whatever the cost of your mods, that's how much energy you got back. So if a mod costs 10, you get 10 energy back. And, if you have like another mod in your hand that costs 7, that's 7. So it's 17 energy you can get back. So before it got nerfed, this would be S++. But I'd say A tier, because it really only works on like one build. Inker, give it a B. So it's just good, so it's just for creatures, obviously. But tethers can be, if played right, you got to be really disciplined and cycle correctly. You need a shield. You need to protect these with a shield, and you got to get them in like certain areas. So they're very situational, very map specific. But they can cause a lot of scary snowball issues, and you're screwed if you get snowballed with it. So for that, I give it a B. I think that's fair. Omniscience, I have a soft spot for this card. Obviously, I love using it. Fun factor, S+, but overall, I just give it a B. Can come in clutch at times, but sometimes it give you something that you don't really need, and you don't have the energy for it. Kind of forces your hand to put like quick draw in your hand, but sometimes you don't have quick draw available, so you may get like a card you don't want to use. So, but it's a lot of fun to use, though. I'll give it that. It can come in clutch, but it's not it's not strong, but it's good for like variety decks and throwing curveballs at survivors, I guess. So, but a lot of fun to use. I have soft spot for it. So I just give it a B, I guess. Nikolai, okay, I give Radar Pulse an A. Track survivors so you can do more damage on them, or lower their attack power. It's the perfect cycle card. It costs 0. That's what makes Nikolai work, pretty much. Pike, I'll give it a C. Turrets are very situational, map specific. On certain maps, like maybe Uptown is like the only map you can get turrets to work on. So, but they cost a lot and they give back a lot of time and very map specific. C tier, what's there to do with this? Not gonna go into details. Yeah, I don't know. Good for turret builds, I guess. So yeah, that's it. Auto shield, good for trolling, I guess. That's about it. For running like a high camera HP build, that it's good for trolling, but it's actually really annoying on like a Watchdog high camera HP build. So that's really the only use I used it for. You can't really pass this up because it just costs nothing, and you can cycle to the cards that make Nikolai really strong. So yeah, good for trolling, I guess, but very build specific. Okay, so C tier. That's what I gave it. Yeah. Yeah, Nikolai has like the worst cards in the game. It's strange. He's like the strongest Mastermind, but he has like the weakest like area cards overall. Okay, so area 3 cards. Okay, how to rate these? I gave double detonators B. I don't know why they're on that, but good for like high damage, like ambush builds. I wish Daniel got these. It would make more sense on Daniel. But I just gave a B tier for that. But you know, they could be really strong on the right build, so that's preventing them from being C tier. Concentrate enhancer, a lot of fun to use, but you know, Vapors kind of made him obsolete, so I just gave it C tier. Top zombies, I give it A tier. These are really hard to kill. In Area 3, when they have all the buffs, they're really annoying to deal with, and when they're controlled, they're practically impossible to kill with like 2 people. You need like the whole team on them. Even like a Sam and like a Jill or a Becca shooting it. Still, they're really hard to kill in Area 3 when they're fully buffed and when they're controlled. Regen, good for causing lag. But these are really good. If it wasn't for lag, these would be S tier. But they share its buffing effects. But let's say lag never happened, I'd rank it S tier because that's what makes buffing it, defense in that really scary. So, but just because of the concern for lag, regen lag, I just give it A tier, I guess. All right, so we got okay, Armored Zombie. I give it C tier. If these were I wish these were immune to the Kashima. That's kind of an idea I had. That way you have an incentive to choose it over this. But for that, they're just a fully armored. You can kill them from behind, and I don't know. It's really no incentive to use them over that. So for that reason, I would just give it C. If there was no this would probably be I'd probably put it B tier. Equilibrium, I give it an A. Great for spamming. I don't think that's what its intended purpose was. I think it was just there to make sure you have energy recharge while you're controlling a creature. So controlling a creature slows down your energy recharge speed. So I think this mod was put in for that. But you spam a lot of stuff that's easily killed, so that's kind of the downside to it. And Daniel's hard enough as it is. Bemusement's probably your only hope with it. But it's still really strong. It's E tier, I guess. Caltrops, I give it B. I don't know. Guaranteed survivors are going to walk on them, so good for like trapping them with like infinite accent. Very situational though. But they're I don't know, a lot of fun. I always wonder what would happen if we run like full trap damage on them. So that's something that always intrigued me. Remote shell. I give this an S tier actually. You can take out entire teams with it. If there was no Kashima, this would be like the best card in the game. S plus tier. So for that, yeah, tons of health, tons of damage when they're controlled. You have to control them, so you have no choice. But they also high trap, spread infection. You know, when they're not active, their buffs are still active. But these are very annoying, dangerous to deal with. When they're being controlled, you have to kind of focus all your energies on this. There's no other option. So yeah, S tier. So Alex, this is why Alex is the best in the game, because she has 2 S tier cards. No, 3 of them. Yeah, S tier, obviously, what makes spam Alex work. Don't need to go into details. C tier, I don't know why this is in. What did I give this? Where is it? Oh, I give it a B, I guess. I don't know. It's good for like a gun Alex deck, but you know, it's kind of meme-ish in of itself. But I don't know. It's something you can't really pass. I mean, what do you use it on? Can't. What kind of build do you really use it on? You know, there's spam Alex and there's trap Alex. You don't really want to use this on a trap build. So before this came along, that's what you kind of had to use. That's when this is when spam or trap Alex became really strong. So for that, I just give it a B. You know, right build, it's really strong, but you need a very specific build. Detonator mode, I just give it an A simply because forces your hand to play whatever traps are in your hands, and you kind of have to play traps on top of survivors. You can't like put traps before doors. You have to be constantly on top of the survivors with this because it blows your traps up automatically. So so that said, it makes you vulnerable for your camera to get shot out because you know the Mastermind's going to be on it. You can't be like behind a door, and you know it's going to you can blow up your preset traps, but this doesn't. You can't do preset traps below. Like when the survivors are moving on, you can't put like a trap explosion behind the next door where the objective is. So that's the downside to it. And it clogs up your hand, so you usually have 3 mods in your hand. Okay, so A tier it is. Spencer. This is S tier. You can spam a lot of expensive stuff at 1 cost. Anything that's like 4 cost or below, it's 1 cost guaranteed. This, if you're running like a cheap deck, you'd want to only use this. But other than that, it's really build specific. So for that, I give it C tier. I don't know what this is in for. I guess it allows you to spam like certain cards, I guess. So I don't know. So nobody's really figured out anything to do with it yet, and you can't really pass these up. So C tier it is. Reroute S tier, obviously, it's practically impossible to beat Bemusement like a Terminal Spencer when this is done right. And the cores are really thick, it's just impossible. So for that, that's S tier, obviously. Nikolai, yeah, worst cards in the game. Area 2 cards at least. So C tier, I mean, if you step on it, it's really good, but you know, it's hard to cannot avoid traps. They're hard not to avoid. Turret machine gun. I give a soft spot for turrets, but I give it C. Very build specific, map specific. AP Gator, you need to run like mag expansion with this and full damage for it to work. Otherwise, it's just 1 shot, and it costs like 4 or 5. Tactical shields, I give it. What I give this? I give it a C just for that reason. This is A tier. Repairs all your busted cameras, can turn the tide. Pauses your energy, so if it didn't do that, that'd be S tier, but I give it A tier for that. So yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks for the idea, and yeah, I'll do the passives maybe some other time. So thanks for the idea. I hope I did it justice.